They will test you. They will underestimate you. Life, people, circumstance. They will all come for your peace. And if you're not grounded in who you are, you'll flinch. You'll fold. You'll forget your strength. But here's what the world doesn't teach you. True power is not about force. It's about stillness. It's not about showing the world how tough you are. It's about becoming so grounded that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. The most unshakable people. They don't have fewer problems. They've just trained their minds not to be owned by chaos. Because when you act like nothing can break you, nothing will. You see, history doesn't remember the ones who panicked. It remembers the ones who stayed composed in the fire. Lincoln wasn't made in his victories. He was forged in failure, betrayal, and endless loss. Edison didn't invent the light bulb in comfort. He built it in the wreckage of 10,000 experiments gone wrong. Disney was laughed out of offices, told he lacked imagination. Ford was bankrupt before he built an empire. But what did they all have? A mindset that refused to be broken. A belief system immune to the noise. A vision that burned hotter than doubt. And that's where your battle begins, in your mind. Because most people never lose to life. They lose to their own reactions, to overthinking, to fear, to self-doubt whispered in their ear at 2 a.m. and believed as truth. They crumble not because life is cruel, but because they weren't prepared to be mentally sovereign. You want freedom? Then learn to master your thoughts. You want strength? Then stop outsourcing your peace. No one can give you discipline. No one can install belief inside you. And no one can hand you a calm mind. That's your job. That's your mountain to climb. Start here. Stop reacting. Start responding. There's a difference. Reacting is emotional. It's survival. It's primal. Responding is deliberate. It's powerful. It's calculated. When someone insults you, silence is your sword. When life blindsides you, stillness is your armor. You do not let storms dictate your next move. You become the storm. Imagine how unstoppable you'd be if your peace was never on the table. If you didn't hand it out to criticism, delays, or disappointment. If you were no longer a puppet to mood swings or opinions. That's not coldness. That's control. And don't mistake control for avoidance. This isn't about denying emotion. It's about refusing to drown in it. Dale Carnegie once said, "Our fatigue is often caused not by work, but by worry. It's not the pressure that breaks us. It's the way we carry it. It's the stories we tell ourselves about pain. The meaning we attach to rejection. Rejection isn't a signal to quit. It's a redirection. Failure isn't fatal. It's data. Embarrassment is just a flash. But regret? That lasts. You must train yourself to feel everything, but be moved by nothing. Because emotion is energy. And your mission must be stronger than your moods. Vision is the antidote to chaos. The moment you know where you're going, distractions lose their grip. Suddenly, small slights don't matter. Criticism becomes background noise. And your energy stops leaking out to battles that don't build your legacy. Have you ever noticed how focused people walk? How athletes train? How billionaires work in silence? It's because they've made a choice. Purpose over everything. And when purpose leads the way, drama falls behind. You don't argue with every voice in the crowd when you're headed toward something greater. You don't stop to explain your path to people who are lost in their own. But purpose alone isn't enough. Discipline is your lifeline. It is the daily act of proving to yourself that your emotions do not own you. It is saying, I don't feel like it, and doing it anyway. It is showing up tired, showing up anxious, showing up afraid, but showing up anyway. That is what separates the weak from the worthy. Discipline is not about punishment. It's not about pain. It's about building a system so strong you don't need motivation to act. Because motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning. Carnegie understood this. He spoke not of external validation, but inner responsibility. If you want more, be more. If you want success, don't wait for it. Become someone success is attracted to. You will never rise above the standards you set for yourself in private. And if you're waiting for the world to crown you, you'll die waiting. You have to decide who you are, not ask. You have to act powerful before the results arrive. You have to show up like you belong, even when no one invites you in. Why? Because that's what the greats did. They moved like they were already kings, even when they were broke. They walked like giants, even when the room tried to make them small. They carried conviction before the world gave them permission. Act like nothing can break you, and nothing will. Because it's not about being invincible. It's about being untouchable where it counts. In your spirit, your drive, your identity. You will fall. You will be tested. And you will have moments where everything in you wants to collapse. But in those moments, you must remember, this is the gym. This is the fire that forges you. This is the resistance that builds the mental muscle most people never develop. Every no is weight on the bar. Every setback is a rep. Every insult, every delay, every painful moment, they are all sharpening your edge. So stop wishing for ease. Start preparing for impact. Because those who rise the highest are not those who felt the least pain. They are the ones who didn't let pain write the final chapter.